Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another build video. Today I've got you guys the Silenced MDR build. Thank you to Ubisoft for offering me this bundle. And with that said, I first want to talk about the suppressors as a whole before I get into the build. So if you're in a rush or anything, you can skip to this timestamp for the actual build. I want to explain why I'm starting to move a bit more towards the suppressors. So let's quickly look here. We got the light suppressor, we got the normal suppressor, and then we got the stealth barrel. The stealth barrel is absolutely horrible. We're not going to use that ever, but I want to quickly touch on the suppressors. So you don't want to use a suppressor if there is a better attachment that you can use in this slot. So for example, on something like the Vector, you definitely want to use the barrel extender, or on something like the ACR, you want to use the compensators. Anything that can actually overpower the usage of a suppressor is useful in this fifth slot. And then you also got to ask yourself, is there another slot in here that would be more useful than rocking a suppressor? Now let's get into why suppressors are overpowered. This normal suppressor is the best against sweaty players, so you want to use this one in ranked, and the reason for that is it completely takes you off the minimap. And you might be saying, well, Echelon does that too. You are correct, but not everyone wants to play Echelon. Me personally, I like to play Phantoms or Cleaners, so the normal suppressor alone is really good if you know you're playing against sweaty players who are constantly checking their minimap for those red dots. But like I said, it does take away some range, so this is probably only useful in ranked, but you can still use this in pubs. Like a 10% reduction to your range is basically nothing. But the light suppressor, I definitely would urge you to use more because it has no cons and it still does a really good job in keeping you off that minimap. It does put you on for half a second, and the radius is 24 meters, which is not too far, but it's still really strong to use, especially against casual players who might now and again check the minimap. So that is what we're going to be using on the MDR today. But yeah, with that said, let's get into the build. So starting out, you're going to be using the lightweight stock for a 20% boost to ADS walking speed and a 2.5% boost to your movement speed. It does take away some ADS speed, but it is very unnoticeable on the MDR. We're going to be using the reflex sight. You can also try the holo, but I personally think the reflex sight is the better one. If you add the Neocorp skin, you can definitely use that and then use like a rare grip, like the quick draw grip, or even the heavy grip goes really well with the MDR. Like I said, the visual recoil on the iron sights on this gun is pretty terrible. That's why we're using a reflex sight. Then we're going to be using the small vertical grip for a 10% boost to ADS walking speed and a 5% boost to ADS speed. So what that means is you now have a 30% boost to ADS walking speed. Then we're going to be using the heavy barrel. The heavy barrel gives you the lowest CTK on the MDR, and because of that, it also brings down the fire rate, which means that it's a lot easier to control. We don't need recoil attachments on this gun anymore. And then we're going to be using the suppressor. I just explained why we're using the suppressor, but basically it does a really good job at keeping you off the radar. Not the light suppressor. The normal one takes you completely off the radar, but I mean, light suppressor is really good against casual players. With that said, I genuinely believe this is the new meta for XDEFIANT, the usage of suppressors on certain weapons. You definitely don't want to use a suppressor on something like the ACR, but most SMGs as well. I can still see it on the P90 maybe. But yeah, once again, thank you to Ubisoft for offering me this bundle. And with that said, let me know down below what you think of this build, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.